Welcome to the Change Mindset program. Today's session is going to focus on communication and relationship management. We are continuing with the same story of Rama and Sita for this session as well. We are in search operation of Sita. Lady Sita is yet to be found, but Hanuman has already reached the precincts of Lanka, is starting the operation of search, going around every single place where possibly women are gathering, temples or lakes and such, so many places he is turning around, but no sign of Sita. Those days, of course, we never had images to find out, photographs to find out, but he is thinking of whatever information he has gathered about Sita from the description that Rama had provided. So he's trying to find out if this woman is matching or not. So he's looking around, but he's now walking into the palace as well. He knows he is getting into the enemy precincts. So he is reducing the size as small as possible, so he's not attracting any kind of attention. Walks in very quietly, moves around, observing all the time what is going on, the kind of army base and the people that are securing, how are they, and such. And he enters the bedchamber of Ravana himself. Huge man Ravana, said to have 10 heads, supposedly so intelligent, so powerful that he can control the whole world if he wants. He looks at that strong, powerful man lying down on his bed and he watches how he is sleeping. He watches around whatever things are there, the kind of food he has eaten, the kind of wine he has drunk, all the things show not just him, but also the personality of this powerful person. So to speak, Hanuman is observing every single aspect of this man to gather as much of as possible on his Swatana. This still going on. He has looked around enough. He goes out of the palace. Still no signs of Lady Sita. Completely depressed. He walks into a park that is slightly outside the palace precincts, and it's called Ashokavanam, and where he finds a treetop to sit down and rest. Not really resting, but kind of contemplating, feeling slightly demotivated that he is unable to find Lady Sita, beginning to get worried. What if she is not alive? What kind of message will I have to deliver? Hanuman also has this ability to motivate himself. You know how he does it? He visualizes all the positive things that are to come when he is able to see her. Everything goes fine. So he reminds himself, visualizes and motivates himself and prays that Lady Sita be so kind to show herself in front of him. Right at the moment, he looks down the tree top from where he was seated and he sees a woman, slightly torn, old clothes, crying. She is having a kind of tejas, a powerful energy in her face, even though she is in a very dark vision. She is crying her heart out. Let's make a stop here and reflect on the thoughts of Hanuman and reflect on your thoughts. What do you think? Is it the right time for Hanuman to communicate? And as an action point, you go back to at least 3 of the very important moments in your life where you had to do communication effectively, and also list down how much of your observation was used in this communication. Let's now go back to the story. He is continuing to observe this woman. She is crying her heart out, and the way she looks around her are scattered some things, and some of the things are her ornaments. One of the bangle, one of the earring. Now he is able to recollect that there was the woman that was abducted who threw one pair of her ornaments down when she was being abducted. And here he sees this, the other pair. There is a possibility. It matches. There is one checkpoint he figures out. He is yet to confirm who this woman is and how to approach her. But at the same time, it is also getting to be slightly dawn, a pre-dawn, and Ravana with his retinue walks up to this woman, starting to yell at her and blackmailing her. Ravana tells this woman, you will get to live the life of a queen if you agree to my conditions. Your husband is a nobody. He was already roaming around in the forest, and who knows, he might be dead as well. Here you can live the life of a queen if you agree to my requirements. Not just you, so many other women that I have abducted have already fallen to my requirements. So you should also do the same and be smart and such. He goes on and on and on, boasting about himself and his power and whatnot. The lady is crying, but at the same time following a resolve, keeping a distance. And she says only one thing in her stern voice, dull but still stern voice. She says that I am always devoted to my husband, and I am very sure that he is going to come back. When he comes back, I would expect that you hold his hand and hand over me safely back to him. Those are the only words that she had to say. Very stern, stubborn, not giving up. Ravana, being Ravana, is even more aggravated. Now his voice and tone is high, yelling at this woman and also asking his retinue to further go and blackmail her, kind of torture her. And he bursts in anger and leaves the place, while his team of guards, or graces they are called, go ahead and continue all this blackmailing, also kind of doing a negative talk. Oh, what will you get out of this and that? Look at the way you are, kind of adding pitiable words to use a way to mull her into what he wants her to do. Not giving up. Everybody goes tired and they all leave. Now there is only this woman and our dear Hanuman sitting and waiting for the right moment. He sees that she is totally crushed because of whatever has happened, and she's maybe in the thought of committing suicide. So he is now thinking this is the right time to start upon. But he doesn't jump down, nor does he increase his size. He now switches his vocal cord to be able to speak to a human in a human language, first thing. And then he also starts by telling the story. A story of a king and a queen, a princess and a prince, how they were asked to go in exile in the forest and how they lived their life and such. The story kind of matches with the life story of Sita. She's now a little bit curious, looking up. Who is this person that is talking about my life story? She's now detaching herself a little bit from this desperate situation and looking up and asking, who are you? Very quietly, he walks down and presents himself as this messenger of Sri Rama and gives a clear update on what happened after the abduction, what she had missed. Is still unable to gather her thoughts and believe in this unknown half human, half monkey personality that is walking up could have done so much, or is it a real genuine person? He goes on giving more further explanations and explaining how Sugriva, the king of the monkeys, ended up meeting Sri Rama, how things happened between them and such. And he also shows the Kanayali, which is a ring, Sri Rama's ring himself, and gives it to her. He's now beginning to believe in this person. Still confused, how the hell is this little monkey able to reach this far? Now he shows his power of being able to resize himself and reduce himself and such. And he now shows how he exactly managed to come past all the challenges. He also gives her a proposal. Same way that I came, I can also lift you very softly out of this place, and in minutes I can take you out of Lanka. Let's make a stop here and reflect on the thoughts that is running around in Hanuman's head, and also reflect on Sita's thoughts. As an action point, let's come back and think of the communication that you have done. Was it direct or indirect? So further elaborate into, did you make a effort to have a direct communication or indirect? Let's now go back to the storyline. Sita, on the other hand, explains two important reasons for her not wanting to go along with him. One is that she wants the argument, whatever conflict is between Sri Rama and Ravana, and that has to happen at a direct level. Another thing, she cannot run away like that. She is a queen, yeah. And more importantly, more important than her own trouble, she has also done her observations. Even though she was abducted, she has understood that this situation is not only hers. There are other women. There are so many people in trouble. Everybody must be rescued. That is the message. Sri Rama has to come and rescue not just her, but everybody. There must be a bigger plan. So she shares her learnings out of the months that she spent here in this place in Lanka. With Hanuman now proceeds to give her the ray of hope, the message of hope, that Hanuman's head, King Sugriva, has a team of animals, monkeys that can support Sri Rama, and they can plan and come back to a war if needed and rescue. He's done here. He now makes a move into the forest area, into the precincts of the palace, creating ruckus, attracting attention now. He wants the attention of Ravana to the extent that he's throwing things around and destroying things around. And whoever is coming in front he is also killing the person or the guard. So the effect goes on to the level that he is now pulled to the court of Ravana. Ravana now asks him, who you are, why are you here, what is your intention? So Hanuman decides to make his own seat equally to Ravana. So he uses his own tail, circles it up, and comfortably sits himself on top of a nicely made tail chair and goes on explaining who he is. Gives a overview of who Sugriva is and what kind of power they have, and who Rama is an all in all, this SWOT analysis of what they have and a SWOT analysis of what Rama is, in a manner giving him the inkling that if this is going to go into a war, it will be a huge calamity. And this can be stopped even in this moment, provided Ravana agrees to safely hand over Sita to Sri. Ravana, being in his own behavior, never gives up. He is not in a mode to listen. Even some of his ministers tried to advise him to take the feedback coming from Hanuman, maybe let Lady Sita go, but he's not ready to buckle down. He, in fact, says, this is the way to insult a monkey. So just put up a fire on his tail. And he orders the guards to do so. They do so. Fire is set on the tail of Hanuman. Hanuman has only one message now to deliver. It's a warning. So he uses the fire on his tail and goes around and fires up the entire Lanka, except for the Asokavanam, the place where Lady Sita is seated. Sends a strong message and leaves. So let's now get to the practicalities of communication here. There was quite a bit of communication going on. The communication between Lady Sita and Ravana had a message of stopping the war even at this moment, because she was thinking like a queen and asking him to give up on his actions even at this stage that she was being threatened. Communication between Sita and Hanuman, how indirect it was when it started out with the storyline, because a depressed person cannot be directly introducing yourself. So he used an indirect method to build the trust first and then began the communication. And the cross communication when Sita shared her observation, keeping the bigger perspective, the bigger good in view, sharing whatever she could with Hanuman. Hanuman finally shares the communication of, the key word is hope. He had to deliver hope to Sita, so she is put up until the fight happens. He goes on to do conflict management as well as a communication when he talks to Ravana, and ultimate giving the message of warning when nothing is working during the talks. If you look at whatever happened, there are 4 pillars to the communication: the right tone, right language, right form, and the right message. Right form, right language, right tone, right message. All goes well together for an effective communication. Hope you found this very useful. Let's meet up in the next session. Thank you very much.